With the latest on the wildfire emergency in Los Angeles. This is the situation as we come on air.
At least 10 lives have been lost, but that number is expected to rise over the coming days as authorities assess the widespread devastation. More than 10,000 structures have been damaged or destroyed, and over 153,000 people are right now under evacuation orders, with another 166,000 on standby to leave their homes. The sheer scale of the devastation now sinking in, with street after street and home after home destroyed. This could be one of the most destructive wildfires in California's history. 4 major blazes are raging across the state, with the biggest fires right now largely uncontained. 9 US correspondent Jonathan Kersley is coming live to us from Malibu this morning, one of those dangerous zones. Jono, good morning to you. A new fire emergency is now unfolding.
It is right now, and it's meaning more thousands of people are under evacuation orders. North of where we are here in Malibu, in Granada Hills, a blaze broke out a short time ago. It has already burnt quickly on a day of extreme fire danger. People in and around Los Angeles have been told to expect wind gusts in excess of 80, 90, upwards of 100 kilometres an hour. And this is the last thing that people would have wanted on this sort of day. Another fire emergency, and people will be hoping it's not a sign of things to come. It just adds to the pressure that is already on firefighters who spent all last night trying to water bomb areas in and around here at Malibu, Pacific Palisades, the Eaton fire too, trying to get as much water on these fires as possible to ensure that there weren't any flare-ups or minimal flare-ups in these extreme wind conditions. Authorities have also confirmed too that the thousands and thousands of properties may well climb. Those have been damaged or lost. There is also a new concern, and that is all of those water bombers that have been in and around this area, they are now reduced by 1. Authorities have 2 super scoopers. One of them is out of action, grounded because it was struck by a drone. It can't be used on this dangerous day and won't be able to be used until Monday. There are now curfews in place in these fire zones, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That is to stop looters going into these areas. It is an issue that authorities are trying to point out. Arrests have been minimal at this stage, but the Sheriff Luna, spoke a short time ago, and this was the message he was sending.
We are not screwing around with this. We don't want anyone taking advantage of our residents that have already been victimized.
The LA Medical Examiner said last night that the death toll stands at 10. It could well climb. Authorities are yet to get into areas like this. We've also heard Mel Gibson, the Hollywood star, has lost his home here in this Malibu area this morning. But this is still very much an unfolding fire emergency. And if people thought today was the end of it, with this being the last day of fire emergency conditions, well, they are going to be proven wrong, because weather experts and officials here in Los Angeles are saying while the weekend might be a little quieter in terms of wind, those dangerous fire conditions are going to roar back to life on Monday. This is a nightmare that seems to have no end.
Yeah, a moving situation. Jono will keep us abreast throughout the morning. More news now with Sarah.
All right, thank you, Ali. To breaking news, 4 people have been arrested after a fatal stabbing southwest of Melbourne. Live to Kiara Parker, who's in Wyndham Vale. Kiara, it's understood a group of youths were fighting right before this happened. That's right. Police were called to this park here on Haynes Drive at about 11:30 last night following reports of a group of youths fighting. The victim, who is yet to be identified, was found with a stab wound. He did receive medical treatment but couldn't be saved and died at the scene. 2 other males were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. As you said, 4 males have now been arrested. Those in custody are assisting police with their inquiries as officers here continue to comb the crime scene at Wyndham Vale. Sarah? All right, our thoughts are with the victim's family this morning. Thank you so much, Kiara. Counter-terrorism police are this morning hunting those responsible for vandalising a synagogue in Sydney South. Live now to Bianca Bowser in Alawa. Bianca, the temple was sprayed with anti-Semitic graffiti.
Sarah, it was. It is all washed away now, but we will show you pictures of how it looked yesterday. I will warn that some viewers may find these pictures distressing. There were several swastikas spray painted on this synagogue here, also anti-Semitic slurs and references to Hitler. Now, the CCTV cameras behind me capture the moment a man and woman who are wearing masks approach the synagogue armed with cans of spray paint. Police have released those images as they try to track them down. They are urgently trying to make progress on this case, with many members of the Jewish community here feeling distressed and unsafe as a result of this attack on this synagogue. Also, the Premier, Chris Minns, this is his local electorate, and he is condemning the actions. Take a listen to what he had to say.
There are, unfortunately, some bastards out there that are determined to rip our community in two.
Pretty distressed and upset. My parents were survivors of the Holocaust, and of course it brings back many distressing and terrible images.
You can hear just how Chris Minns does not mince his words there, but also the president of the synagogue here, obviously very distressed by what has happened. Defacing a place of worship like this is considered a hate crime. So, as you said, the counter-terrorism squad is on the case. I've talked to police this morning. They say, as yet, no arrests have been made nor any charges laid. Sarah?
All right, just awful. Bianca, thank you so much. And now to breaking news in the US, where Donald Trump has been formally sentenced in his hush money case, but won't face any punishment. Live now to 9 US correspondent Reid Butler in New York. Reid, it clears his path to the White House.
Sarah, but it is significant because it does cement his status as a convicted felon just days before he returns to the White House. And you've got to remember, he desperately didn't want to return to this New York City courthouse for this sentencing. He tried almost every way he could to get the case shut down, including going to the Conservative-backed Supreme Court. The fact that none of those options worked could be considered a big fail for Donald Trump. But in saying that, he avoids any punishment at all, an unconditional discharge, despite the fact he was found guilty of falsifying business records over hush money payments to porn star Stormy Daniels. That kind of conviction normally carries with it a jail sentence. So why the leniency? Well, put simply, it is because Donald Trump is about to become president again. The judge, Juan Merchan, saying that the office of the presidency shields Donald Trump from the gravity of the verdict. The president-elect still isn't happy, though. He's posted on Truth Social saying he still plans to appeal. He did appear via webcam at the court today. Here is audio of what he had to say.
This has been a very terrible experience. I think it's been a tremendous setback for New York and the New York court system. But the fact is that I'm totally innocent. I did nothing wrong.
Jail time or not, Sarah, Donald Trump is heading to the White House as a sentenced felon.
Indeed he is. Reid, thank you so much.